Welcome to the Underground, the Steel City Underground, a Pittsburgh Steelers podcast made by fans like you, for fans like you. Now, here's your host, Joe Kuzma.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Steel City Underground podcast. I'm your host, Joe Kuzma, and today, Steelers Nation, I'm excited. You should be too. We have a very special guest here on the program. His name is Keion Adams, and he is the Pittsburgh Steelers 7th-round draft pick and outside linebacker out of Western Michigan. Keon, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I guess I'm rolling pretty good. You guys just wrapped a first week of OTAs. Why don't you tell me how you're feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be a part of a great organization and just work with a great bunch of guys as far as my teammates and the coaching staff. And it's been exciting to get back to work. Just going through the whole draft process from working out to pro day and just, that whole day as far as getting drafted on the third day. I mean, it was kind of hectic, kind of crazy, and kind of all over the place. And just to be able to get back to football is really refreshing, and it's allowing me to get back to what I call home, which is on the field. So I'm just excited, and I'm happy to get ready to work.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, and we're going to talk about, well, basically, 7th round, you had to wait all 3 days. I'm sure that had to be a little bit nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it can't be upsetting, right? I mean, it feels good now. Once you're in the door, your foot's in the door, you're in the NFL, you have that opportunity. That's all that matters, right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Like you said, it was kind of nerve-wracking. Just watching those 3 days and just seeing a lot of guys go in front of you. And, you definitely have your opinion as far as what you're thinking going on throughout that process as far as, seeing guys get taken before you. But at the end of the day, like you said, as long as you get an opportunity, as long as you get a shot, then once you really get in, like Coach Tomlin says, you can use the example as far as when me and TJ. TJ was the first pick, and I was the last pick. But, we don't look at it that way. We look at it as far as just two rookies getting an opportunity and getting a shot to go out there and compete. And, we help each other no matter what, as far as him being in the first and me being in the 7th. So, it doesn't matter what you've done previously. It matters what you do there. And, you see a lot of late-round talent, a lot of guys that go undrafted or they get picked late, they come out and they be stars. So, I'm just ready to get to work, put my head down, and just soak up all the knowledge that I can from the vets and the coaches.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about this, but what's that like exactly? Have you, by any chance, you have to be a little bit starstruck, I imagine, walking around guys like Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, but particularly Antonio Brown was a 6th-round draft pick. Have you had any type of interaction or discussion with him about that? Because, it turned out pretty well for him and a few others that we'll mention.
Yeah, I've say what's up to the guys, introduce myself and stuff like that, but we both coming in, we both have jobs to do, and right now we're really focused on our work, and later down the road we'll definitely be able to have those types of conversations, but right now I'm just focused on doing what I got to do to go out here and make the team, and just focus on what's at hand, just taking it one day at a time, making sure I know the defense, making sure I go out there and give the best effort that I can. But like you said, from guys from Big Ben to James Harrison to Antonio Brown, you watch those guys on TV, not necessarily growing up, but James Harrison, yeah, because it's his 15th year in the league, and also Big Ben. But you watch those guys when you're in college, and you see those guys out there making plays on Sundays, and those are the faces of the league and the faces of the team. So, it is kind of, new to me, but at the end of the day, you can't dwell on that. You just got to go out there and just look at it like, hey, this is my job, and I got to do what I do to take care of business and focus on the task at hand, which is making sure I go out here and make the team and do what I can do best as far as helping the team, whatever I can do.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where maybe at first it's like, oh, wow, hey, that's Big Ben, that's James Harrison, but by this point, it's probably second nature already. You're working alongside these guys, and now they're going to end up being your teammates and your comrades. But going back, just rewinding a little bit and talking about watching the Steelers and everything, you grew up in North Carolina, 3-sport star in high school. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you were a football guy, a basketball guy, and I tried to look, but I didn't see what the third sport was.
I ran track. I tried a little bit of baseball my freshman year, but I knew I wanted to get faster as far as keeping my body in shape. So I went back to track from my sophomore through senior year.
Yeah, so you're basically an athlete all year round while you're in high school. So that's
Yes, sir.
yeah, fall, winter, and that early spring. And
Mm-hmm.
As far as football, also you had the opportunity actually, and thanks for returning and joining us for our podcast here. But you spoke with my managing editor Eric Herman maybe about 2-3 weeks before the draft. And
Yeah.
he was talking with you about when you played football, you played like every single position. So you feel that dropping in coverage or anything like that here with the Steelers and what's expected of an outside linebacker in a 3-4 isn't going to be a problem.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, in high school, we ran a 3-3-5 defense, and primarily when I played on the defense side of the ball, I mean, like as you referred to, I played offense and defense and played almost every position on the field. But primarily on the defensive side, I played, your outside linebacker, safety position. So I would drop in coverage. I would play cover 2, deep half. I mean, whatever it took. And so, I mean, just it's like as far as now, with me playing defensive end in college and stuff like that, it's like when you haven't rode a bike for so long, you got to get those muscles back moving into as far as opening it up and get those hips back moving and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not scared as far as or worried about me having to drop in coverage or do any of the requirements that the defense asks of me as far as in that position. I feel like I'm an athlete, and I feel like my athleticism will take over. And I mean, so far, I definitely feel like I've displayed that I'm able to drop in coverage. I'm able to cover people, whether it be a tight end or a back or even a slot receiver here and there going across the middle. I mean, whatever it takes to just go out there and just do my job. I know that I'll be able to do it and withstand whatever the team asks of me.
Yeah, we love hearing that, especially with tight ends. There's been a little bit. The Steelers have tremendously improved even over the latter half of last year as far as pass defense. But I have to ask, growing up in North Carolina as well, and you mentioned watching some of these players, who was your favorite team in North Carolina? Because I know Steelers Nation is pretty much worldwide. Was it the Steelers, or did you have another favorite team, or you just kind of watched whoever?
To be honest, growing up, I was a Giants fan, and I hate to say it, but just that Lawrence Taylor connection with him being from North Carolina. I know he's a little bit older than my time, but just I gravitated towards his whole mentality, and I mean, just the way he played outside linebacker. And I mean, just his aggressiveness and the way he got after the quarterback and his mentality as far as going out there and playing football. So I mean, I naturally gravitated towards them just with that whole North Carolina connection. And then I mean, I just kind of stuck with it. But I mean, right now I'm a Steelers fan. I'm a huge Steelers fan. I mean, I wear the black and gold till I die. So at the end of the day, I mean, nobody has to worry about that. I'm all in with the Steelers.
Yeah, we have a little saying around here. It's black and gold till I'm dead and cold. So
yeah,
you could do worse than the Giants or Lawrence Taylor for that matter. I mean, the Giants and Steelers have a lot of similarities too. They're usually the coaching, they're the ownership. I mean, they're one of the original NFL teams. You know, they're one of the hierarchies or patriarchies. I'm probably not using the right word there, but they're like the founding family of the NFL.
Yeah,
so
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what? No one here that's going to listen to this that's a Steelers fan is going to hate you saying that you're a Giants fan. Now, if you would have said you were a Patriots fan or a Ravens fan, has there been any discussion on that, by the way? There been any like talk about the Bengals or Ravens or Browns or anything like that? Or has it just been all your business right now as a Steeler?
I mean, kinda. I actually have a close friend who plays for the Bengals who just got traded there this previous during the offseason. So, I mean, we've kind of, with him just showing me the ropes as far as the NFL, he kind of gave me a heads up as far as, hey, you know what I'm saying, we got a pretty tough bad blood rivalry between us and the Bengals. And they were telling us about the Browns and also the Ravens. And, I mean, naturally, as far as with how the Patriots go, I mean, I've kind of, you know what I'm saying, got hip to it a little bit just by hearing people's conversations and stuff like that. But, I mean, there hasn't been too much in-depth conversation. At the end of the day, I know as far as a team, we're worried about us and only what we can control. So, I mean, that's really been the main focus as far as us getting better each and every day.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you're going to find that out too. And I mean, not everybody is like at everyone's throats. I mean, a lot of you guys played college together. I'm sure if and when you play the Tennessee Titans, there's no ill will with your Western Michigan teammate, Corey Davis. He got drafted over there. I even saw you, I think you said congratulations or something on Twitter, and he's been hard at work too. So it's still a big football family. I mean, I even say that jokingly. I don't really hate the Ravens or the Bengals or the
Yeah.
Patriots, but you don't necessarily like them either. You kind of want to see your team do well. So
Most definitely.
yeah.
Most definitely, yeah.
So, speaking of that, transitioning from, well, just tell us a little bit about transitioning from, you went from Salisbury, North Carolina to Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I've actually been to Kalamazoo, Michigan, believe it or not.
That's crazy. Not too many people even know about it or even have visited. So, I mean, you're one of the very few in the world, I suppose.
Yeah, believe it or not, I know being a MAC school, but you guys back in the day used to play my alma mater's Youngstown State. So I actually went up there for a game many, many years ago, long before you were playing there. But yeah, fond memories of it. There was even fireworks afterwards. But Kalamazoo, kind of a small town. It's not necessarily small. I don't want to act like there's only one street with a post office and a traffic light.
Yeah, nah.
But it's not.
Yeah,
but it's not quite Pittsburgh. What's it like coming to Pittsburgh? And Pittsburgh's not Chicago, so it's not totally overwhelming, right?
Nah, I mean, it's not too overwhelming. I mean, like you say, I mean, most of the people there have been there all their lives, or it is mostly a college town, especially the area that I was living in, as far as around campus and stuff like that. But I mean, the transition hasn't been too overwhelming, like you said. I visited up here a couple weeks before the draft, and I kind of got a taste of it a little bit. And then with me and Javon, aka Jay Wobble, we grew up in the same city, grew up together. So I got to come up here maybe once, you know what I'm saying, before that, just you know what I'm saying, to get acclimated, not even knowing that I was going to be drafted by the Steelers. And I kind of got a taste of it as well that time. But, I mean, it's exciting. It's a wonderful city. The culture here is rich and the tradition is rich. You can definitely tell that the fans and the people here are all about their teams, whether it's the Pirates, the Pens, or the Steelers. And, I mean, it's something that I can definitely feel myself getting used to it. I hope that I stay here for a very long time because I love the city. You definitely have a variety of people here. And, I mean, it's something that, a lot of people could say they dream of as far as wanting to be in this type of environment. So, I mean, it's something that I definitely look forward to as far as coming in here. And it's definitely something that has really grown on me and something that I can really appreciate as far as being in Pittsburgh.
Did you get the grand tour? We see some of the photos and stuff on the Steelers website. Did you get the grand tour like TJ and some of the other rookies that come in get? You get to go up to Mount Washington, Permane sandwich, anything like that?
Nah, not really. Actually, TJ was telling me about the Mount Washington trip, and we actually was planning on taking a trip up there together. Probably next weekend when we come back from Memorial Day weekend or whatnot. But I mean, Javon's taking me around a couple different places. I've got to go out with some of the linebackers as far as Chicolo, Shazier, and Bud Dupree, just, you know what I'm saying, going through the city and just seeing different places, seeing different sites and stuff like that. So, I mean, I didn't get the grand tour, but I kind of got a gist of a lot of stuff around here.
That's really cool. And I have to say, too, going from college, going from even just like I said, it doesn't really matter if you come from a MAC school or one of these, like an Ohio State or Alabama or something like that. It's all going to be the same transition for anybody. What do you think it's like the difference between, let's just say, NFL, speed, physicality, playbook versus what you had in college?
Definitely. Well, I mean, with me playing the rush-in position as far as playbook-wise, it's definitely more detailed in the NFL. There's a lot more things as far as coverage-wise and different groupings as far as personnel that you have to pay attention to. The game's a lot faster and a lot quicker. I mean, especially when you got guys like Big Ben, who's been in the offensive system for so long. They know if you got a rookie out there and they look like a deer in the headlights, then, I mean, they're easily hiking the ball fast, so you really don't have time to think about it. But that's why I get around guys like Bud and stuff like that, just to go over the playbook, so it's not too much thinking as far as when I'm out there on the field. And I mean, like you said, the guys are definitely more physical, definitely bigger and faster, especially the offensive linemen compared to playing, I mean, not only in the MAC, but I mean, we played Wisconsin, and guys like Al and guys like Pouncey move way faster than the guys at Wisconsin and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's definitely a transition, but the more and more that I get to practice and the more and more I get reps with, I'm getting used to it, and I'm becoming more comfortable out there on the field each and every day.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because the Steelers' offensive line, Coach Mike Munchak, I mean, they have done a tremendous job. They had, in the first 3 weeks of last year, I guess it was, from actually week 4 and continuing through the end of the season, they had the best pass blocking efficiency in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus. So not only do you get to work alongside, and I wanted to ask you what it's like working alongside James Harrison, and you'd mentioned Bud Dupree, Anthony Chickalo, and some of the other linebackers, but at the same time, you mentioned like Alejandro Villanueva and some of the offensive linemen. They're the best of the best, too. What's that like from both sides?
I mean, working with guys like James and Bud, I mean, they're showing me little things, small things that I didn't, you know what I'm saying, that I wasn't taught in college that's helping me elevate my game as far as pass rushing and just technique-wise. And going against the offensive line, like you iterated, that they were almost one of the, if not the best, one of the best offensive line in pro football. So, I mean, I feel like it's definitely preparing me for what I'm going to see early in the league, it's preseason games throughout the season. And it's helping me get that confidence down, like, hey, I'm going against a great group of guys, and I'm going against the guys who are considered the best. So it should come natural, not necessarily natural or easy, but I should be comfortable in, you know what I'm saying, is going out there and facing other guys as far as in the league. So I mean, it's been great. It's been a learning experience, and it's definitely something that I don't take for granted each and every day. I go out there and try to find little things that I can get better at each and every day so I can better my game.
Have you is basically, you've mentioned Bud Dupree a few times. Is that kind of the guy that's maybe taken you under his wing? Do you have like a mentor yet, or just kind of like working out with everybody?
I mean, I kind of working out with everybody, but I mean, Bud is definitely Bud and James are definitely two of the guys that I've definitely been paying a lot of attention to. With Bud's athleticism, I definitely see how he's you know what I'm saying, I can definitely translate my game to him. And as far as, you know what I'm saying, just watching his pass rush and stuff like that, it's definitely something that I'm definitely paying attention to so I can elevate my game. And then James Harris's work ethic and how he hits it in the weight room, I definitely pay attention to that as far as how I can get better and what all I can do as far as the weight room to get stronger and bigger and faster. So, I mean, all the older guys that I consider vets are teaching me a lot of stuff and taking me under their wing and just showing me, you know what I'm saying, the ropes around the game and what I can do as far as getting better and how I can transition into the game on an easier path than what it would be as far as if I was doing it by myself.
That seems like a good idea because from all accounts, it seems like everyone that's hung out with James Harrison in the offseason has gotten bigger, faster, or stronger, or all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
But you've mentioned, and I guess the nickname stuck, J-Wobble, Javon Hargrave, for listeners who aren't familiar. I know the connection there. Explain a little bit about the connection, how you know Javon.
Well, actually, me and his younger brother played AAU basketball together growing up. So, I mean, naturally, going over his house after games or staying the weekends at his house, I got to hang out with Javon as a kid, especially early throughout grade school and middle school. And, I mean, we kind of gravitated towards each other just off the football aspect of things. And we actually went to rival high schools. He went to North Carolina, I went to Salisbury, so we played each other. As far as he goes, he never beat me in football. So, I mean, I kind of got the upper hand on him throughout high school, but he did catch me in basketball a few times or whatnot. But, I mean, we grew up together. I mean, I called his dad, my dad. We went to church together. When I'm up here, when I got free time, I'm always with him, hanging out with him. And, I mean, I look at him like an older brother, if not a mentor, but definitely an older brother.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's definitely awesome having somebody that you're close to on the team there to help you through this whole process, because otherwise, you know, you're kind of like small fish in a big pond now, right?
Yeah, for real. I mean, coming in, I mean, you're a rookie, so I mean, it's definitely something to get adjusted to as far as it being your job now. I mean, like when you're in college, you're not necessarily worried about your scholarship being taken or you being, you know what I'm saying, kicked off the team or fired or anything like that, because I mean, you basically signed a contract to a deal. But now it's just like, hey, there's so many people out here trying to take your job. There's so many different rookie classes coming in the years after you and stuff like that. And there's so many guys out here that, you know, are at this level that are just as good as you are, even better. So, like you said, you're a small fish in the pond, but I mean, you just got to become a student of the game and just separate yourself from those guys and just go out there and make an impact and produce as much as you can.
Yeah, and that's one of the things why I mentioned being a multiple sports star and you playing all of these different positions. Like you said, back in high school, it's just like riding a bike. It makes you very valuable, very versatile. I think it's no secret that a starting position is very difficult to come by in the NFL. You have to cut your teeth by playing special teams, which sounds like that's not going to be any type of trouble for you whatsoever.
No, I mean, I definitely know just getting around Coach Mills and stuff like that, the special teams coordinator. I mean, I know that's going to be really my ticket as far as just making this team, and I'm willing to be an all-four-phase guy, really willing to go down there, run down on kickoff, protect the punt, block for ABM, punt return, whatever the case may be, whatever they need me to do as far as me helping myself and as well as helping the team get better. So, I mean, I'm definitely not worried about playing special teams. I'm actually all for it. And, I mean, if the job comes along as far as later in the future, me having a job is going out there and playing defense, I'm going to be prepared for it because I got great coaches as far as Coach Porter and Coach Butts as far as, training me and developing me into that outside linebacker. And then, like I said, guys like Chick, Bud, and James, as well as Arthur Moats, they're definitely helping me as well. So, I mean, it's just whatever happens, happens. I'm just here just so I can help the team and just get better.
Now, just changing gears a little bit from X's and O's, you had a very interesting college football jersey number. You wore number 1 while you were at Western Michigan, and now you're going to wear number 99. What was – explain that a little bit. Is there any story behind the extremes there?
Not really. I mean, for some reason, when I was growing up, I always wanted number 1, and I really couldn't get my hands on it until the previous season, and once I got it, I took the opportunity, and so I really didn't know what number I was going to get coming into rookie minicamp, and it just so happened to be number 99. And I mean, you got guys like LeVon Kirkland and Brett Kiesel who wear the number, so I definitely got an expectation to live up to it. I'm just ready for the challenge.
I was just about to ask you that too, man. You got ahead of the game. I was going to say, if you knew that history wearing 99, and Brett Kiesel himself was a 7th round draft pick too, so definitely inspiration when you see that maybe in the mirror. Just remember, man, it does not matter. And he had a very long and fruitful career here in Pittsburgh. Also, LeVon Kirkland, of course. So I guess you could say we had Kiesel, we had Kirkland, and now we have Keon. See, it just all kind of works together there. So,
it does, man. It does.
But you need a cool nickname, though. Do you have a nickname? Has anyone given you a nickname yet, or is that something that's going to come from the locker room?
I guess it's going to be something that's coming from the locker room. I mean, right now, everyone's calling me Keon. So, I mean, I can't really say if someone's already given me a nickname. I guess we just have to see when camp rolls around or whatever the process as far as through these next couple of months takes us. So, I guess we'll have to see when that time comes.
Now, I may be jumping the gun here, but are you familiar with a song that's called Renegade? It plays at every home game at Heinz Field. Has anyone brought you up to speed with that yet?
They haven't, but I feel like I've heard it before. I probably couldn't sing you a verse from it, but I definitely feel like I've heard the title before, and I definitely feel like I've heard it play probably somewhere off in the background on the dances, or maybe even at a home or away game during my college career, but I haven't gotten as far as the tradition. No one's told me about the tradition of it playing every home game at Heinz Field, so I guess that'd be something that I look forward to now that you put me on it.
Well, I know there's so many other important things going on, and somebody out there listening is like, really? You're going to ask him that, Joe? But you know what? It's one of the things, I mean, the fans really get into it, and it's for you guys. It's for the defense. It's your defensive stand. When we need a big play from you guys, it's kind of been one of these things that started since they built Heinz Field. It's stuck. It's a little bit of a video package. They play this song from the band named Styx, and it's just like about a half minute to full minute of it's just that adrenaline rush. It's going to be one of a kind thing that's going to make like maybe the hairs on your arm stand up the first time you hear it, and you see all the terrible towels that are going to be flying around there in Pittsburgh. But you know what? One last question for you, Keon, and this one, it's almost like the bonus round here. I want to know one thing that nobody would know about you, a hobby, anything it could be. Some guys talk about a favorite food, anything, man, anything that comes to mind.
I probably have to say I love swimming. I actually learned how to swim on my own. It was one of those kind of things that I was at the pool with my older cousins or whatnot, and I was younger, and I really they wouldn't teach me how to swim, and they was like, well, I mean, if you're going to get in, you're going to learn. So, I mean, just one day I hopped in the deep end one day, and I mean, they said I didn't panic. I really can't remember too much about it. I just remember me just, naturally just paddling and kicking my feet and stuff like that. And ever since then, I've definitely become one of those water type guys who just loves going swimming, whether it's in a lake or an ocean. So I guess that's one thing that you really wouldn't expect or surprise of, that I love to be in the water.
Yeah, you're going to have to find a heated pool in somewhere in western Pennsylvania, because I think you're going to have about a 2-month window to swim if it's going to be outdoors. I mean, the weather. I mean, it's got to be good, though, because you guys aren't killing yourselves in the heat right now with some of the training. But let me tell you, it's going to get hot, and then all of a sudden it's going to get cold. So I'm sure you're prepared for that coming from Michigan. It might actually be more mild than Kalamazoo. So.
Oh, I mean, I hope so. I mean, you got that lake effect up there in Michigan as far as going from different just coming from the lake and stuff like that, and the snow get pretty bad, and it definitely gets really, really cold out there. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's a part of football, especially being up here in this part of the area. I mean, it's something that you got to get used to and play through. So I mean, it's not something that I'm worried about or something that's going to affect me. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to be tough. So hey, I'm ready for it.
So cold weather games, sleeves or no sleeves?
No sleeves, man. You got to go out there. You can't show any weaknesses, man. You got to go out there and show that doesn't affect you. So, I mean, I like I said, I'm used to it. I really didn't wear any sleeves like that during college. I mean, if I did, I mean, I didn't wear any gloves either. So, I mean, it was give or take, whichever one I decided to put on. I mean, I might wear sleeves one day with no gloves, and then I might wear gloves with no sleeves. So, I'll probably go no sleeves.
Sounds like you're prepared to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, Keon. I want to thank you for your time and appreciate having you on. If you have a shout-out or anything else, go ahead and tell our listeners.
No problem, man. Thank you so much, man. I just want to shout out to the whole city of Salisbury and Kalamazoo. Just thank you for everything. Thank you for all support. And I'm just happy to be a Steeler, man. Go Steelers.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is Pittsburgh Steelers' 7th-round draft pick from Western Michigan, Keion Adams. And you can follow Keon on Twitter. I'm sure your Twitter followership has gone up quite a bit in maybe the last month or so, I want to say.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And the tag would be at Civil Savage, the number 1. No spaces, no dashes, nothing fancy. So, and you're verified. Yeah, you got the little blue check mark. Man. Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Man, I was surprised.
That's a recent development, too, because I was just looking at it right now. So, once again, thanks, Keon, for joining us here on the Steel City Underground podcast. And best of luck to you now and through the future and rest of your football career.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you for having me. Have a blessed day.
Yes, you too. And to all of our listeners out there, once again, that was Keion Adams. You can follow him at Civil Savage 1. Until next time, be safe, be good, and I'll catch you later.
We would like to thank you for listening and remind our listeners to follow us on social media and our website, www.steelcityunderground.com.